Colleen here, DIYer behind LemonThistle.com, and today I'm excited to share this DIY macrame garland with you guys. I have a few macrame videos that I've recorded and then just never edited because there's like so many different knots and so many different things that I want to tell you. So I thought that this was a great place to start because there is only one knot, only one thing to show you, and then you can make this. And I put it on the tiny tree because I have a lot more to make before I can put it on my whole tree. But I made this last night while watching a 1-hour show. So I mean, I guess I have a marathon to watch before the holidays. And I can do that. I like TV a lot. So I made this one kind of scalloped with the twisty knot. And I really love how casual this plays, but also like how cute the little scallops are. But if you just want something way more plain, you can totally just do the twisty knot garland without adding the scalloped piece on the bottom. So before I get started and before I show you the one knot that you need to make this garland and show you how I connected it all together, if you have not yet subscribed, I would so love if you did that below so you don't miss out on any more DIY or home decor videos. All right, let's make it. This project is part of the DIY Mummies Christmas DIY and Decor Challenge. You can check out all the videos from this challenge in the playlist, and I will make sure that I link that. Alright, so for this project, you're going to need your macrame cord. I just use a heavy cotton twine, and I get this through a packaging manufacturer. I will leave a link to the specific stuff that I used below. So you're going to need to cut super long strings because when you go and tie knots in it, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and you will be surprised how long of strings you can cut, and it will make a much smaller piece of garland. And you need 4 strings per piece. And if you're going to do the kind of scallops on the bottom, then you're going to need 4 strings at the same length for another piece. And you'll just want to tie off one end of those. I did that with a loop so that I could loop it around the handle of this breakfast tray. It's what I use for my macrame to keep it kind of in line and away from my body so that I can tie the knots and have good pressure on that. Alright, once you have your 4 strings tied off and secured on something, you want to start knotting. Now this is one of the most basic knots. This is going to be very familiar if you made friendship bracelets in elementary school. It is the half square knot or the spiral knot. It is this twisty look here. It kind of looks like DNA, and you are just doing the same thing over and over and over. To do this knot, you want to keep 2 pieces in the middle, and you want to take the outside 2 pieces and you're going to knot them around those center 2 pieces. So for this knot, you're going to want to pick one side and you want to cross it over. So you're making like a 4. And then you take the other piece and you put it over the crossed piece and tack it around the back of your center 2 and pop it out the side. So you see here, it makes like a little triangle. And as you pull it tighter, you can put it all the way up to the top. And then you do that over and over and over. So again, you take your one edge string and you fold it over everything, take the other one and put it under and through, and then pop it back out the other side and pull it tight. Now, a couple things. If you want it to spiral, you need to always put the same side over in the first place. If you don't, if you alternate, starting with your left and then the right, you're going to end up with what's called a square knot, which looks super cool too. It is just a straight knot. So you're not going to end up with the twisty look. Also, it's going to twist. So you're going to find that you need to twist it and then keep going. Don't worry, don't get confused. As long as you keep putting it over with the same hand, you're not going to end up with it going backwards or forwards. Even as it twists, as long as the same hand is starting with the over motion, then you're going to be good. You don't need to like try and untwist it and see which side is which. It will always be the same for you. Lastly, macrame is all about the tension and equal tension and even tension. So don't pull it so tight that it gets teeny tiny, but also don't leave it so loose that it doesn't look like the pattern that you're going for. Try and find an even tension as you tie these knots off where you're happy with how it looks and you feel like you can mimic that 1,000 times over, because that's what you're gonna be doing. Go ahead and do that for like 4 inches. When you feel like you've got a hang of it after this 4 inches, then we're gonna add in the next piece. All right, so I know that I said that this was super simple, and it is. But now we're gonna add in the second piece of the garland, which will be used to make the scallops. Now, you can totally skip this and just make the spiral knot garlands. They will look super cute on your tree as well. But if you're looking for a little bit more texture and to fill a little bit more space on the tree, then these scallops are really beautiful. So again, you're just gonna need your 4 strings, tie them off, and tie them on to your other piece of garland. Start doing your spiral knots, do more and more spiral knots, and you're gonna want to do an even longer set of spiral knots. So if you did 3 inches last time, do 4 inches this time, or 5, depending on how big you want your scallops, before we tie them together to make that first scallop. So the shorter piece is going to be the top of the garland, the longer piece is going to be your scallops. So when it comes time to tie them together, take one of the outside pieces that you've been knotting with and knot those together, one from each of your garland pieces. And then to keep my strings kind of an even length, I did switch every time that I knotted these pieces together to make a scallop. I switched my inside cords for my outside cords. So I started knotting over with what used to be the inside cords, because as you can imagine, those inside cords don't get much shorter, but the ones that are doing the knotting, that uses up a ton of the string. So those ones are going to be super short by the end if you don't switch and use your inside cords for knotting. So you just keep doing this over and over and over, and scallop and scallop and scallop. I alternated kind of bigger scallops with smaller scallops. I did that kind of on accident because my second scallop I made a little bit small and I didn't want to have to backtrack. So you can do it like that, or you can do all big scallops or all little scallops, whatever you like. And this is pretty brainless. You can do it in front of the TV. That's how I like to macrame. And once you get the hang of it, it's gonna be like second nature, like knitting, where you just don't even really have to look. All right, that is it. That is all that you need to make this beautiful but super simple macrame garland for your Christmas tree. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more DIY or home decor videos. We'll see you next time.